Hi guys, it's Emilio again, and this is week 4. Alright, just want to give you a heads up really quick, is that I kind of rushed this episode today because I have so much to do, school is catching up with me and stuff, but don't worry, I will still get videos, I will still get a video out every week. I can do this, I will not be defeated by procrastination. Anyway, so, episode. Right, I only have one real issue to talk about today, mostly because it hit me really hard when I, last Tuesday, and I'll get to the story, and I feel like this is the only thing I really have to talk about, alright? Now, anyway, so, last Tuesday, 2 days ago, I went to lunch with my grandma, alright? Now, I don't know about you guys and your relationship with your grandparents, but I'm really close with my grandma, okay? Like, when we were kids, like, when there was no school, she used to take us out, me and my brother out to, like, Chuck E. Cheese, or GameWorks, or some random place she read about in a newspaper, or a kid's museum or something, and that really, like, impacted me. Like, I felt like I really got to spend time with my grandma. We did a lot of stuff while I was growing up, and then she'd also, like, whenever she'd sleep over at the house, she'd always have newspaper clippings for us. Nothing big like freaking war in Iraq or something. She'd always have something interesting, like this monkey that assaulted somebody, and now the monkey's on trial, and people want the monkey out of jail and stuff. It's a bunch of different stuff, but, like, at the end of the day, she really took the time to spend time with us, and recently, and I say recently as in like the past few years, that same grandma, my only grandparent by the way, she had a kind of falling out with our family. It started years ago. I must have been like 12 or 13 years old when she found out about AX, and I know you guys know AX. AX is this big old 3-day anime convention in Anaheim or wherever the hell they put it, and it's a big deal, right? But you know how my grandma, she's old. So she reads stuff in the newspaper, and newspapers are like the worst place to get information for, like, what's it called, fandom-y stuff. So she found out about AX, and she's like, oh, we should go, I should take Emilio and Alonso, and so she talked to my dad. She was like, oh yeah, I'll take him on Saturday, I'll take him today, which was the Saturday, like the big day for AX, right? And back, I don't know what the tickets are now, but it was like $40 to $50 for a day ticket. Right, and this was at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so you'd be paying like $40, and then we'd get there at like 2, so it wasn't really worth it. Like, back then it was worth it to me because I didn't understand money, but my dad told her no, and then they got into a fight, saying my grandma telling him that he didn't want that my grandma accusing him of not wanting us to spend time with her, right? Whereas my dad saying, no, you can take them, but don't take them there, it's too expensive. And then she's like, no, it's my money, it doesn't matter. And, like, I was upstairs crying in my room because I couldn't go to AX. Because I was really excited to go because my best friend at the time, Lixon, lived down the street from me, and he was going, and I couldn't go with him until Nong brought that up. Anyway, the whole deal was I couldn't go, and the lasting effect is that my grandma and my dad were not on good terms. And my grandma and my dad are the kind of people where they won't, those people that they won't ever be the ones to apologize first. They'll apologize if you apologize to them, but they'll never, and that's a standstill. To this day, I still don't think that they've forgiven each other for that whole debacle, or whatever you'd call it. Then, a few years after that, I must have been like 16, 17 years old, my mom started to work with my grandma on the real estate stuff, like they become like partners or whatever, because that's what realtors do, I guess. They always have partners. And they got into a lot of fights over a lot of different things. And this time it didn't concern me or my brother. This time it was just, my grandma has been in realty for a long time. So whenever she would teach my mom how to do something, my mom would try it somewhere else, some other way. It would still work, but my grandma would get mad at her for trying something else. My mom would get mad at my grandma for being like, why can't I do it like this? And, like, it worked, it got the same effect. And my grandma's like, you can't do it like that, that's not the way it works. And then a whole standstill again because same reason, they're not the one to apologize first, right? And it's a whole thing. And then lastly, this is completely, like, I think the two with my parents were bigger ones, but my granduncle, my grandmother's brother, right? He was looking for a house. He got her opinion. He had my grandma help him out because she's a realtor, And then after that, he got a second opinion from a different realtor without talking to my grandma. And that offended my grandma so much that they don't talk. I haven't seen that granduncle at a Christmas or anything in years. And granted, I wasn't really close with him. There's a whole incident with churros and a Thomas guide, but I'll tell that story some other time. But what happened there with my grandma and my Lolo Dwight, um, she really didn't forgive him. They still haven't spoken to each other, and that's her own brother. All right. So anyway, I was having lunch with her on Tuesday, right? And then we go back after lunch. Lunch was good. We go back to her house because she wants me to figure out her Facebook for her because apparently Facebook is broken. Because she's trying to she couldn't find this video of a wedding she wasn't able to attend. So I found the video. It turns out there's no sound. So we're trying to fix the sound problem. I realized there's no speakers. So I'm trying to figure out how to get her to watch the video. She has a laptop, but she has one of the laptops that's like this, you know, like the smally ones, and she's what's it called? She had that laptop, so I fired up the laptop, tried to get it to work, and she's like, no, I want to watch it on my desktop, my big computer. And heads up, guys, she's running whatever Windows came before XP, so it's Windows ME or whatever, all right. And anyway, so I'm like, no, you got to use this one for it to work. And she's like, well, I don't want to use this one. Why can't you guys accommodate to me? I'm the grandmother here, and I'm okay. Let's calm down, right? Because she feels really lonely because she hasn't been in touch with my mom, and then apparently my godfather, who is awesome, her son, my godfather had stopped talking to her for a while too, and then my aunt, her second child, because my godfather's her third child, is always traveling around the world or whatever in like Berlin, Bermuda, New York, Miami, whatever. So she's really lonely, and she's getting upset at me for trying to help her put it on the laptop when she wants it on the big computer. It's because she doesn't understand how computers work. That's totally cool. That's an old person thing. But it was really disheartening to hear her accuse everyone. She accused the whole family. Everybody leaves me alone. Everybody leaves me alone, and nobody wants to help me anymore. I'm just there when you need a babysitter. She went into a big rant about it, and that's a grandma that used to take me to Chuck E. Cheese. All right, that broke my heart. Okay, because I grew up thinking she was such a wonderful, loving, generous person, but she became really, really bitter, and I feel like this really could have been prevented, you know? Like, if my mom or my dad decided to be the bigger person and apologize to her first, or if my grandma decided to be understanding of my parents or whatever, then she wouldn't be like that. Because, like, okay, I'm gonna take a dramatic pause here, but you guys, you know what I mean? Like, it's heartbreaking to see someone you love become so angry at the world. And like, what I learned from this was to always be forgiving to people. Like, no matter what, you could know for sure that that you are right. You can, and not just like, I know I'm right, I have to be right. No, you could know for sure that person is wrong and whatever. But it's not worth growing up alone. It's not worth being elderly in your house with a big family and no one to talk to. You know? Like, a lot of fights aren't worth it. You know? Being right isn't worth losing your whole family. Isn't worth having grudge upon grudge upon grudge with several different people. I mean, it's already hard enough to keep up with one grudge. Because that's one person you loved in your life that's gone. Alright? And, like, I guess that's basically what I learned this week, is to be forgiving, be apologetic, and just really, really think about when you have a fight with someone, really, really think about what you could possibly lose. Because it's not just the person you could lose, it's who you are. It's how that person affects you that you could like completely lose that part of your life, and it's not a good feeling, you know? Like, if I had lost that many people in my family and I was old, that would be heartbreaking every day. And that's exactly what my grandma goes through. And I can't help but think it could have been prevented, you know? So I guess, yeah, that's my entry for this week. It was a pretty tough day that day. Like, I don't know what could have been done. I think it was just an accumulation of things. On a completely different note, we figured out how to get our sound to work on our computer. We just had to plug in headphones. But in all honesty, like, just being in that whole state of mind, it's got to be the most heartbreaking thing in the world, and I don't think people should have to go through that. So, heads up, guys. Let's just make the whole world a little bit more forgiving, okay? Like, future me, look me in the eye right now, okay? Look, next time you're in a fight, just give up. Let the other person win. It's not worth losing them, okay? All right? Because you don't want to grow up and be old and angry at everyone in your life. All right? Well, I guess that's it. Sorry this video was kind of rushed, guys. I guess I'll see you next week.